Good morning, everyone. Have you ever wondered why God allows certain people in our lives? The doubters, the ones who challenge us, even those who seem to stand against us. It's as if God is setting a table right in front of them, inviting us to sit down, inviting them to watch. But why? Why does God allow us to experience enemies, trials, and tests when He could so easily remove them? Today, let's reflect on what it means when God prepares a table before our enemies and what it says about the strength, faith, and resilience He's calling us into. Stay with me until the end, and let's uncover how these challenges aren't obstacles. They're part of the very feast God is preparing for us. Life has challenges, big ones. Moving forward in faith often means facing moments where we have more questions than answers. 1 Corinthians 1:27 tells us that God chose what seems foolish in this world to confound the wise. So think about this. Trusting God, especially when things don't make sense, may look foolish to others. But what if it's the beginning of something amazing? Lord, this morning, we come before you, full of questions and maybe even doubts. Help us to release our fear and our desire for control. Give us faith that even when we can't see the way, we can trust your way. Remind us, God, that every trial is a part of your plan, crafted specifically for us, and that you alone know the ending. Let's be real. Doesn't it seem sometimes like we're running in circles? Like the harder we try, the further we feel from God's purpose. But here's the thing. Every moment we feel uncertain, we're actually taking a step closer to trusting God's wisdom over our own. Pause for reflection. Now, here's the challenge God sets before us. In Matthew 5:44, Jesus says, "Love your enemies, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you." Loving your enemies? That seems impossible, right? Why should we have to bless those who've hurt us, support those who've torn us down? But it's here that God reveals something powerful. Loving our enemies isn't about changing them, it's about changing us. Lord, as we start our day, help us to see the people around us the way you see them, especially those who seem to challenge us. Give us the courage to forgive, the strength to show kindness, and the grace to love without condition. Transform our hearts, Lord, so that we can reflect your love in even the toughest moments. Loving our enemies sounds wild, doesn't it? Imagine loving that person at work who always finds a way to criticize you, or your old friend who suddenly seems distant. But when we rise above, we discover a strength that's no longer ours, but God's working through us. Now, here's the part that changes everything. In Psalm 23:5, it says, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." God doesn't only protect us from our enemies, He places us right there in front of them, in a position of strength, so they witness His power, not ours. When God prepares a table before your enemies, He's inviting you to sit and enjoy His blessings, His peace, and His presence. Unbothered, because His victory has already been decided. Lord, thank you for the table you've prepared. We rest today, knowing that in your presence, no enemy, no fear, no doubt can shake us. Help us to see the table of blessing you've placed before us, and to sit at that table with confidence, knowing that your strength and grace surround us. What if every person who stood against you is actually preparing you for something greater? And what if the battles you're facing today are the very thing that will show you God's undeniable power? Hold on to that thought. This morning, let's remember that God's purpose for us is often revealed in the presence of struggle, in the very places we feel weakest. He sets a table before us, not just to provide, but to elevate. As you go through today, embrace the truth that you don't need to fear any enemy. God's already set his plan into motion. His table is ready. His blessings are prepared. Lord, we praise you for your guidance and strength. As we walk through today, remind us of your victory over every obstacle. Give us peace that surpasses understanding, faith that doesn't waver, and a joy that shines even in difficult moments. Lead us, Lord, and may we always keep our eyes on you. If today's message spoke to your heart, I invite you to join me in my next video on the power of prayer. Together, we'll continue to uncover God's purpose for our lives, one prayer at a time. Let's keep building our faith, keep lifting each other up, and trust that God's plan for us is greater than we could ever imagine.